That's how I define it.
I don't know. Being able to read and write. That's
Okay.
just what I think of literacy.
Being able to read and write and speak competently and correctly.
To be literate, I think it's being able to read and write and being able to do that well.
When I think of literacy, I think of knowing how to read and write.
How would you define literacy?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I had to do a paper on that, and there's too many variables there, so I don't want to pass on that.
That's a great question. I have I like my students' answers more than my own. I mean, if you're able to kind of look at something and analyze it and really anything, if you're able to read a text and be it sheets of music or video games or understand things, and if you're able to kind of work around it and how it functions well enough, you're able to kind of, and from being literate from that, you're able to kind of add your own stuff to it and be involved in it and involve yourself in the actual process and development of that particular what it is.
How do you define literacy?
I would look at literacy as it's kind of like how well you communicate in different communities, I guess. Like there's literacies that obviously there's academic, and there's literacies that within those academia, there's different kinds of classes which each require their own separate literacies. For example, history might have one, and that's how they as a community discuss and use language would be some ways overlaps with my English studies, but also is very different. Just like I know if you look into the science or the business worlds, in terms of academia, they would also have ways where their communities use language, writing, text, things like that, discourses that they would that are going to overlap and also be different from the way I'm used to. But there's also obviously communities and literacies that are beyond the university, such as religion, sports, things like that, news, media, things like that. They all have a type of literacy that they're using as a way to kind of show communication within that group, or way of kind of shared knowledge that group kind of has.
I guess being able to read and write, but also it's bigger than that. It's like how to read circumstances, social circumstances, and things. Am I allowed to say this?
You're allowed to say whatever.
Well, but it's vulgar. To me, it's like how your asshole's aligned with the universe.